Week 13, John Harbaugh, unsure if he's returning to practice this week. Nick, do you think Lamar's contract situation is at all impacting his availability?
I don't see how it couldn't be impacting it. And that is not, to me, at all a damning accusation.
Right.
I would not judge Lamar for this. We just saw a team that was alive for the playoffs bench their quarterback in Derek Carr. Why? Because his contract was as such that if he got hurt, they would have to pay him. And nobody was like, oh my God, so unfair to Derek Carr. People were like, oh yeah, that's the business. Kind of makes sense. Even though the team's still alive for the playoffs. So if you're Lamar and you are guaranteed $0 after this season. Now we all say he's going to get franchise tag and he probably would and all that, but you are guaranteed nothing. And you have seen a guy, granted it's a different situation, Lamar's a better player, but RG3, once upon a time, a decade ago, had a sprained knee, only missed a week, went out and played in a playoff game, and got wrecked. And say, man, if I had $180 million guaranteed, I might be a little more bold. But as is, I need to be 100% right to play. That's how I would act. Now, you might say, Coach, that's why I'm not a great athlete. But I wouldn't blame. There's a lot of reasons I'm not a great athlete. But I wouldn't blame him for acting that way.
No, look, I've been on the other side of this for many years and many negotiations, and I understand the organizational perspective. But I understand where Lamar is coming from completely. And I've been saying this since he got hurt, because if he rushes back and plays, he doesn't get credit for rushing back and playing. What's going to happen is if he doesn't play at his level, when it comes down to the negotiation, you're going to say, well, you underperformed.
Yep.
So now instead of getting tremendous credit for being a team guy and playing hurt and doing all those things, you get graded down because the negotiations they're harsh and they're based off of hardcore facts. So I completely understand where he's coming from. And look, he's looking at Deshaun Watson and the deal that he got, and I would say he should be comfortable asking for the same thing.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. Look, Rich Eisen, highly respected, NFL media member, he said that he talked to the Ravens during Week 15, and that they told him that Lamar will be playing in Week 16, should be ready to play in Week 16. He even said that they said he could play now, but he doesn't want to play with a brace. He doesn't want to play unless he's 100%. That was Week 16. Now we're about to enter Week 18, and he's not practicing. So I do think that this is a statement by Lamar Jackson, and he's letting them see they are a Super Bowl contender with him. They are not even a playoff team without him. They're 3-5 over the last 2 years.
Let me show you a graphic, Brew, of how bad the offense struggles without Lamar.
That's
last
12
in
points
points
per game.
There it is.
I mean, the other weird thing about this is we've seen backup quarterbacks. I mean, we just talked about Brock Purdy cooking. So we saw Cooper Rush cook, but it shouldn't be this bad.
I think that speaks to how they have. When you're talking about negotiations or hardcore, if I was Lamar's representation, he doesn't really have representation, so that's weird.
That's
Lamar,
a good graphic to show.
But,
bring that to
bring up the fact that you guys have created an offense that literally can only survive with me. That forget Brock Purdy or Cooper Rush. Put a good starting quarterback, but that is not dynamic like me.
Derek Carr.
Honestly, put Justin Herbert.
Well,
I don't think it would be that. I don't think it would be that.
No, the offense is so far removed from the Justin Herbert.
No, of course.
Huntley's decent, though.
No.
Huntley's not a bad.
But my
right. You guys barely won.
The triple venti latte that morning. They should be happy. What was the game this year when Tampa had the most explosive offense, most yards? The most recent one. Brady threw for the most yards, the most recent one. Brady threw for the most touchdowns, the most recent one. Mike Evans' best game of the year, the most recent one. Their best defensive game of the year from a forcing turnover standpoint. This was their second best of the year, actually. Week 2 against New Orleans, they forced 5 turnovers. I think that's when Jameis was still playing. I'm not sure. I know he was dark horse MVP for someone on the show. But listen, here's the deal, Coach. I've already converted one. I wonder if I can convert 2. That the Bucs are obviously a scary team. And that right now, the Dallas Cowboys, let me put it like this. Aside from the Niners, you think if the Cowboys had their choice, hey, you can have round 3 against Philly or go to Tampa. which one they're choosing. You can play Minnesota or go to
Well,
Tampa.
they blasted Minnesota.
Well, yeah, and they just beat Philly. And so I'm just
without their quarterback.
and
How about that?
Well, the quarterback's
Would
not gonna
beating Kansas
magically-
City without
I don't
Patrick
know.
Mahomes be
no,
something
but the
special?
quarterback, they beat him without their quarterback a week ago, and I'm talking about a game in a couple weeks. So the quarterback still might not be there. Point is this: of course, the Bucs had the perfect time to have their best game of the year. I don't know how anyone could disagree with that.
Look, I like Happy Tom. I think Happy Tom's great. I think Happy Tom's better than Angry at the iPad Tom.
Yeah.
I would like Hall of Fame Tom. I mean, there's so many Toms that we haven't gotten this season, so it's good to see Happy Tom, but I don't think this team is clicking on all cylinders. It was not the quote that they're clicking. You watch them play, and it's so up and down. Tom obviously is a significant X factor, but it's just hard to believe that they're going to have the consistency to make a deep run into the playoffs. And I hate betting against Tom on any level, but it's just so hard watching this team and watching that last game. Yeah, they threw the 3 deep balls against man coverage. I don't know why they didn't change.
Hello.
But
Because the entire NFL universe bends towards helping Tom Brady.
It's a terrible. It's a great play by a punter. Is the difference in
That was a great play by.
it was an unbelievable
That
play.
was maybe
it was probably the play of the game.
Like the 13th time someone who otherwise has a totally irrelevant NFL career does something that drastically affects Tom Brady's legacy in a positive fashion.
And you were just about to say it was probably a season-saving play, right?
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They needed the punter to make a great play to be a season-saving play, not the mark of like a deep
You guys
playoff
needed the
run
review
team.
office to create the Tuck rule to make a season.
First of all, that was in the rules. It was an unbelievable game. Adam Marinelli made 3 kicks that were ridiculous. It was my birthday.
Okay.
It snowed, which was perfect to be the DB coach.
All right.
And it was just a sign of things to come for a team that was red hot.
Just opened up the Tuck rule game.
The Tuck rule.
Go ahead.
Nick, coach is right. He's so right. They are not clicking. A month ago, your Niners demolished them. All right? 3 weeks ago, Cincinnati beats them by double figures. A couple weeks ago, they edged an Arizona team with a 3rd-string quarterback, Trace McSorley.
Yeah.
And then, coach is right. Outside of the 3 bombs, or if you 2 bombs and another touchdown pass from Brady to Evans.
This is why he's Mr. Consistency.
You still
I'm
want to give him that
analyzing-
win?
I have 2 teams playing in the first round that I don't believe in: Dallas or Tampa Bay. I'm picking Tampa Bay. It's
That's
like
the other thing. Chris, I don't
the
know if you saw the
lesser
previous
of two
segment.
evils.
Chris just gave all these reasons Tampa stinks. And 4.5 minutes ago, he explained how they're going to beat the Cowboys in round 1.
Doesn't believe in either team.
Philly
He's
almost beat
saying
the Cowboys.
they are the lesser of 2
Yes,
evils. Is
thank
what
you,
he's
coach.
saying.
Hey, y'all
He's
act like
not
y'all
saying
don't
that he
understand.
loves one.
I-
He's saying he just likes one more.
Can I tell you why I don't
Thank
believe in the Bucks and I
Sure.
believe in Tom Brady? You said it was a great game. There's 3 major issues with the Bucks: rushing, red zone offense, 3rd down. They're last in rushing. Guess what they ran for last week? 67 yards.
Against Carolina.
Still bad. They're 25th in red zone, right? And the year. Last week they went 1 for 3, 33%. They're usually at 51. They're 22nd in 3rd down, 37%. Last week 4 for 15, 27%. Last week on the 3 issues that they have, they played worse. So outside of like some beautiful throws to Mike Evans, that's all it
So
was.
can I tell you why? Can I tell you why that does not concern me as much as it does you? Quickly before we move on to Lamar. Rushing, I don't think there's fixing it.
He doesn't believe in running the ball.
No, that's not true.
Let's
I
throw it
think
out. Running has no place in football.
No, that's not
None.
it. What I'm saying is, of all the different parts of football, if you're going to say, listen, there's one you're going to be terrible at, I would pick that. If you're like, you're going to have the worst special teams in the league, hard to overcome. The worst passing game in the league, can't overcome. The worst pass defense, can't overcome. The worst run defense, I feel like you can't overcome because teams will just run at you. But if the worst running game is not great, but I feel like it is but I don't think they can fix that. But the other 2 things, the red zone stuff, I do believe, come the postseason, that will be better by virtue of Tom Brady. And 3rd downs will be fixed by virtue of Tom Brady in the playoffs and the referees involved in the game. If you don't think there are going to be Cowboys fans the day after this game talking about 3 That was illegal contact across the field on 3rd and 12. You don't think that's coming?
It's his dream,
Okay.
the pixie dust,
Okay,
and
yeah.
now the ref.
And
A
20
man
years of
scoring
history.
is what he is. He's
I
a
would
man
have the worst
scoring.
trick plays.
It's
if it was an
all
option.
designed to make sure that Patrick Mahomes is still considered.
absolutely.
It has nothing
That's
to do
the
with Tom
underlying-
Brady.
This shows
It's let me
obsession with
tag
Patrick
Tom
Mahomes.
Brady
What's
with a
up?
bunch of asterisks
know what?
Oh, yeah.
so that
Let me
I
tag
can,
it.
I can
You
support.
weren't guilty of that one. You weren't.
No,
Bringing up
yeah,
Mahomes.
I
you were,
don't-
you were
I don't-
free on that.
It's under